Hello, welcome to Real Frank Rants. The man behind me is trying to become a Michigan hero. A Michigan hero. He is concerned about the Michigan Wolverines fan base, about the safety of them playing at the Spartan Stadium on October 21st at night. He suggests you don't bring your kids, or your wives, or your female companions. There could be some shenanigans at this game, and he feels that Michigan Wolverine fans should stay far, far away because he cares. What a douchebag. We're going to get into all that next.
Real Frank.
All right. The hero is Mike Valente. For those who do not know who he is, he's a DJ. Let's call him what he is. The DJ spins the records on FM radio, all right? Little talk show host, sports, Michigan State grad for those who don't know. Big Michigan State fan. And he is one of the most biased sports people you'll ever listen to. His radio show, 97.1 The Ticket. Now, to be fair, I did used to listen to this show back in the day when Terry Foster was in there. Terry Foster was a co-host that helped keep him in check. It was much more tolerable. But ever since his co-host Terry Foster left in 2017 because of health issues, this show is unlistenable. He is garbage. He made headlines this week because he was concerned about the safety of the Michigan Wolverine fan base, since the game will be held in East Lansing this year at night. All the women and children stay home. I have a little clip.
So Michigan and Michigan State will be 7:30 on NBC. Here's the PSA I would offer. And it's not hyperbole. I'm being real with you.
He's being real with you. He really cares.
People are nuts, and I don't condone what all people
are nuts. He's nuts.
do, but I'm just telling you. Friendly advice if you're a Michigan fan, don't be there.
What a guy. He's giving us friendly advice to Michigan fan base. He cares. He really cares.
Don't be there. Don't bring the women and children. Don't be there. Don't show up in your egregious butter-themed t-shirt garb.
Butter t-shirt garb. What a guy. I guess he prefers the green snotty attire that he'll be wearing at the game. But he had to throw in his little cheap shot there. This guy is a piece of shit.
There. It's the equivalent of playing stupid games and winning stupid prizes.
What is stupid games, playing stupid games and stupid prizes? You know what playing stupid games and winning stupid prizes? That's what we call listening to your shitty show. That's stupid prizes there. It's a stupid game because you know what kind of shit is going to be spewed out on the radio from you.
To be arguably the most hostile environment this rivalry's ever had. Ever.
Why is this going to be the most hostile environment this rivalry's ever had? This rivalry has always been a big game, but hostile? I would never say it's been hostile. I have friends that are Michigan State alumni, and we get along fine. We talk a lot of smack, but that's what makes this game so much fun. The bragging rights. There's never any hate or animosity towards one another. If you go to a game, everyone is super cool. There's never been an issue of danger or trouble or you don't feel safe. Never. This isn't like Ohio State. Those people are whacked. Michigan State's always been a fun game rivalry for the smack talk. Why is he turning this into something when it's not? What is his logic and reason?
Ever. It will be a tinderbox. Don't be there.
Tinderbox? Tinderbox? That's the best example of a situation he could come up with is Tinderbox? What a freak.
Find something else to do somewhere other than East Lansing.
I think he's worried about all the Michigan Wolverine fans taking all the parking spots. He's worried about parking. Him not finding a good parking spot. He's worried about tailgating.
I would never, if I were a Michigan fan, be at that game.
He's so full of himself. He would be there. He doesn't care. He thinks he's God. He thinks he's Tony Soprano. He thinks he's a wise guy. He's a wise guy wannabe. He would be there. Trust me.
Because there's decent odds you'll be eating a battery.
Now, why would he say that? Eating a battery. The history of this rivalry, there has never been any issue in the stands to that violent way of throwing batteries. Why would he even say that? Why would he throw that out there? There has been no history of that type of thing with this rivalry. This guy is a piece of shit. He's making something that is nothing into something. And I think he's just doing it for some attention. I think little Mikey needs some attention. So he's going to blow this out. This, again, I will reiterate, this rivalry, it is a rivalry game, but it's always been a friendly rivalry for the Smack Talk. Now, last year, there was violence on the field, but it was just a couple of kids who made some poor decisions. Had nothing to do with the fans. The fans were safe. A couple players on the Spartans made some poor choices, but it's been resolved. So why should there be any violence from the fans? No fans were attacked. No fans were hurt in Ann Arbor. So why does he think that people at Spartan Stadium are going to throw batteries at Michigan fans? This guy is a real big piece of shit.
Yeah, I don't condone it. I ain't telling people to behave that way.
He had to throw that part in there. Now, I don't condone it, so he doesn't get in trouble. It's almost like he's trying to use reverse psychology here to pump up the Michigan State fan base to do something. Or possible, he's just trying to create a news headline for himself. Because what he's saying is just plain stupid. Really stupid.
But I know what Spartan fans are feeling and how that's going to go down after what went down last year and how MSU got railroaded.
How did Michigan State get railroaded last year? They got defeated on the field pretty handedly by Michigan. Then in the tunnel, Michigan State players made some poor choices. It was only a couple. So how were they railroaded? Did the Michigan player make the Michigan State player hit him in the head with a helmet and jump him? The Michigan player did that? The Michigan fans made that all happen? Somehow they got involved? This man is a lunatic. He is a washed up DJ. He's making up stories. I don't know what game he was watching, but the Michigan fan base had nothing to do with it. Michigan beat them handedly, destroyed them in that game. And then the Michigan State players jumped a couple players in the tunnel. But I don't know how this impacts the fans having batteries thrown at them, getting railroaded, and they need to fear for their safety. Who still listens to this guy?
Yeah, that is not a place to be.
Not a place to be. Now, here's the other twist to this. He says some horrific things about throwing batteries. So now, his employer, his radio station, sees this as a great opportunity to try and capitalize on a psychotic little speech he gave. And they tweeted out this: Valente's advice to Michigan fans for night games at MSU: don't be there. It'll be the equivalent of late 90s Florida game in the swamp minus Ziploc bags filled with human fluid. Going to be really, really ugly. Wow. This station is just as bad. They had to tweet that out. They're looking to get some attention, some heat off this crazy talk from this lunatic of a crazy man, an irrelevant man trying to get talked about. He got what he needed. People are talking about him. But the radio station was promoting this crazy talk with these crazy tweets. Don't be there. Anything to get people to start listening to the show. Because as we all know in this day and age, FM radio is dying. No one really listens to FM radio anymore. FM is the new AM of radio. Usually people listen to Spotify or Apple Music, podcasts. They don't listen to FM radio anymore. So his employer took this as an opportunity to try to cash in on it. That is going to be the most hostile environment this rivalry has ever had. It will be a tinderbox. If I were a Michigan fan, I would never be at that game because there are decent odds that you'll be eating a battery. Pieces of shit. The radio station 97.1 is just as bad as he is. They're promoting it, trying to get some heat, trying to get some traction. Listen here to the Valente Show. Listen here, we're desperate. We need listeners. We know no one listens to our show, so please listen. Oh, what a guy! Such a nice little man. Mike Valente doesn't speak for the MSU fan base and never will. He's a clown on a dying station fighting for his life to stay media relevant. Don't let anything he says impact your decisions around 10/21. Michigan beat. That tweet summed up everything beautifully and perfect on what was being done with that little audio clip of him. His little comment. This person is a realist. This person has common sense. Mike Valente, 97.1 The Ticket. We're looking for clickbait. Headlines. That's all they were doing. If they were really worried about safety, they should be worried about the safety of their own person. Ben Mathers, the director of football operation. This is the guy Mike Valente should really be concerned about. Because let me remind you about Ben Mathers at last year's game. When Ben Mathers was there and he could have broken up the fight and helped resolve the issue before it escalated. Maybe Mike Valente was worried about him and his safety from last year. Remember that? Ben Mathers fights right there. And what does he do? He runs away from it. And he's the director of football operations. And he runs away from breaking up a fight from his own player. Director! I think Michael was worried about Ben. I think Ben was the one he was talking about the safety of Ben Mathers. That's who Michael's afraid for, Ben Mathers. Not the Michigan fan base and battery. He's worried about his buddy Ben, concerned. Here's another great tweet that makes you think, common sense. How awesome would it have been if Valente used this platform to encourage people not to act violently? You know, instead of furthering the idea that Michigan State fans are definitely going to act violently. What a concept. Matt Hartwell, what a man. What a common sense thinker guy, okay? Pretty common sense stuff there. Pretty common sense. That's not what it is. No one's going to clickbait on that. And again, there is no issue here. Michigan and Michigan State fans get along. It's a rivalry game, yes. It's a smack-talking game. It's bragging rights. And for Paul Bunyan, Valente is trying to turn it. It's about him. The radio station is trying to capitalize on him because they are dying. They are irrelevant. In the end, Valente's just a clown, trying to make a name for himself with shock value and trying to stay relevant in an industry. DJs are being replaced by AI at radio stations across the country. He's trying to still stay relevant with crazy talk. And his employer is trying to use it to capitalize, hoping people will tune in. Pathetic. Mike Valente, you're a piece of shit. Until next time, thanks for watching.
You start shit, you be heartless in the darkness. Torn apart quick, you left scars ripped, you be chewed up and discarded. And this world ain't right, won't accept it. Negative energy, I expect it. Once it's in your mind, it's infectious. So fight for your life.